Hello, I'm Dave Peach, and this is the Crawfordsville Peach Cast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. See them in person or at tricountybank.net. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Crawfordsville Peach Cast, I'm Dave Peach, joined by
Dave Meyer.
We are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. We're also sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber, Power for You. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
Todd. We have got an Untoasted movie, Remo Williams. The adventure begins. Man, Dick Clark was part of this movie.
Dick Clark was part of the movie. Dick Clark was part of how they were able to shoot on the Statue of Liberty site. So, Dick Clark was a big reason that Remo got made.
Dick Clark. Now, do you remember? You were, well, obviously, you saw American Bandstand on Saturday at 12:30 or whatever time it was on.
Yeah, it was on. I think it was on. 12:30. It was on ABC. And there would be the rate of record and the people dancing. And I remember like when an artist that I knew was on there, it was a big deal. And, at some point I realized that they're all lip syncing and it's kind of hokey, but, I didn't for a long time. And I enjoyed it.
Now, also the $10,000 Pyramid, a CBS 10:30 a.m. staple. I love that show.
And he was, for the first part of my lifetime, the guy that was Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
They still call it that.
Okay, well,
yeah, he was. You need to watch it, Dave.
That's what he was still doing it. But wow, they still call it that. I guess that's a good contract right there. That's what that is.
And it's now hosted by Ryan Seacrest. There's a lot of other folks that are getting into that action. Have you read anything? And I have not done anything on this. I only heard about it. There is NBC is going to put together an AI Al Michaels to do the Olympics.
Yes, Dave.
Okay, tell me about this. I need to know.
Well, okay. Apparently, and this is, the AI world in terms of audio recreation has come far, and anybody with enough assets and ingenuity can basically recreate their voice. Well, in this case, when there's like a lot of Al Michaels out there, I think they first probably did some kind of a demo and then approached him. But the gist is that every day during the Olympics, if you're a Peacock person, you can listen to a summary of Al Michaels give the update from whatever happened the day before in the Olympics.
Al Michaels? Yeah, I can't do it. I'm not Frank Caliendo. Yeah.
But that they're basically what they're saying, and what Al said in the release was, it's amazing and it's cool, and because of his connection with the Olympic through the I don't think of Al Michaels as a connected guy to the Olympics. I think of him as connected to the 1980 Olympic team in hockey, but they're connecting him throughout. And, this is one of I wonder if he was the only guy approached, Dave, or the first guy, or how that worked. And what the contractual deal is, of course, is I'm sure benefiting Mr. Michaels. But it's kind of weird.
So you got to get Peacock.
I think you got to get Peacock. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll be available to everybody, but I that was part of the thing, is I'm sure, to drive more people. If that sounds like something cool you want to check out, that's a reason, I guess.
Now, moving on, I got a few openers here. I'm obsessed with the sitcom Caroline in the City.
It is a current passion for you. Yes, sir.
4 seasons, 95 to 99. One of the lines that I loved recently, Caroline said, the premise of the show, Caroline can't find somebody to marry. Now,
that's
she's
it.
Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's a little bit implausible, but I would think that there would be a guy or two that would be interested in Leah
Yeah.
Thompson. But
Yes.
hey, I'm going with the show.
Yeah.
She said in the show, by the time now here's the deal. She is a cartoonist. She has a
Right.
cartoon strip in a newspaper.
Yeah.
And they also do greeting cards. And they go to greeting card expos and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. I mean, 1999. Are you kidding me? I mean, anyway. She said, by the time I get married, people won't be using paper anymore. I mean,
okay.
she was talking
it's much less.
Yeah.
I mean, my father laments not the size of the local periodicals, and I try to explain that they're online, but
not quite the same. Not quite the same.
But she was correct.
Yeah. Anyway, it was kind of funny. But the show is very cringy. We've talked about cringy before, but Caroline in the City. And real quick, we love to talk about announcers. You remember the announcer Charlie Jones? Charlie Jones.
Love Charlie Jones.
Charlie Jones.
Deep, winding baritone.
He was. They called him a kettle drum. They said his voice was like a kettle drum.
Wow.
Charlie Jones. Did you know that he was number 3 on NBC from 1965 when they started the NFL to 1984? And then he worked until 97. He was number 4 to number 2. So he literally worked 32 years on the mic with like 187 different partners, including Jimmy Cefalo and Todd Christensen and Lynn Dawson and
Lynn
others.
Dawson.
Jim Mora, Bob Trumpy, Jim Kelly. He goes on and on. But if I was going to do an AI and do the Denver versus Seattle game, I think, wouldn't that be cool? I love
better.
Andrew Catalan or whoever's going to do it, Kevin Harlan or something like that. But, you're talking about Al Michaels. It would be really cool every once in a while to throw in AI Charlie Jones and Jimmy Cefalo doing the, sorry, I'm spitting on myself. Charlie Jones and Jimmy Cefalo doing Denver versus Seattle, just for old time's sake, man.
I mean, what an incredible career. And he was always he was always pretty positive and he was always happy about doing it. And the guy did a ton of games. He didn't just do football.
No, he did. He did Olympics and he did basketball. Apparently, they always said he was drunk at one NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
But, Charlie Jones, and I did not know this until I went on Wikipedia and looked up Charlie Jones, and many people are out there going, who is Charlie Jones? But he's got a law degree.
Wow. Okay. And if I'm correct, he spells the name Charley. Is that right? No, it's IE.
I've got IE. IE. But again, a big salute to Charlie Jones. On his 47th anniversary. I was like anniversary. I always want to say it's the 54 and a half year anniversary of Charlie Jones's first game. So we salute him. Coming up next, it's Remo Williams. Get your karate thing going on and save the world from the wicked people in our government that are trying to take over. It's next. Remo Williams, Untoasted. Shifting gears mightily here on the Crawfordsville Peach Cast.
Are you looking for great prices? Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. This is Bria French. With Tri-County Bank's Merchant Discount Network, you can get discounts on food, entertainment, tools, and so much more. All you need is a smartphone and your TCB Smart Rewards checking account. Cost savings are only a click away. Terms and conditions may apply. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. It is Remo Williams. The adventure begins 1985. The budget, $40 million. It made $14.4 million. Dick Clark production, starring Fred Ward, Joel Gray, and Wilford Brimley. I do like J.A. Preston as McCleary. He steals the show. And it was an action thriller. it was reminiscent of maybe a Chuck Norris, a Rambo, A-Team, one-man wrecking crew.
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing. I'll turn it over to Dave Meyer. Instead of getting amnesia, not wondering who he was told who he would be.
Yeah. Yes, this is true. No, different. I mean, this was like a pop fiction kind of serial character. I guess there were a lot of like certain books that after this character was created. But the movie is kind of very much like in its time. It starts out dark and it has this kind of 80s synth track kind of thing. Dave, early on when he's in the car, before all this happens, do you recall that we had Marv Albert? Speaking of guys calling games, Marv Albert, right?
Talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, he was calling the Knicks Lakers. And, so anyway, that was kind of a cool little radio tie-in, I thought. So, and then we have this situation where Fred Ward, who they tried to say like had all this plastic surgery, where he didn't look that much different, really. Okay, let's start with that. He had a mustache, and I think they kind of did some stuff to make his face a little different with the hair that they had on him. But basically, he's lured into this situation because he fits a certain profile. And then he has to take on these guys. And the next thing you know, they shove he and his car into the river. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Like Ted Kennedy, he doesn't die. And so here we are. He's in the hospital. What's happening? And that's when we start to kind of get the unfolding of the tale. And you mentioned, I was going to say Mac, right? Mac is kind of his, liaison, so to speak. I guess Chun would be his Yoda. But the premise is that there exists, like a lot of premises nowadays with movies. There's this organization that nobody knows about, and they're out to do good, but they do it in and outside and above the normal channels of government. Okay. And Wilford Brimley, in this case, is the guy running the show. And Dave, he has this, what looks like early Google farm with one bad monitor but he can, anything that comes in any computer, he can access it. So he was almost futuristic in the fact he can like dial up somehow color monitors anywhere, as well as some really rudimentally done 2D animation and green. But anyway, I mean, this is a fun movie if you like these kind of movies,
It was a very fun movie. Some lines that I'm going to go ahead and say. I'm not going to do a swing shift where but then they had this line and then
he's not going to pull his punches, people.
Yeah, I'm not going to pull any punches. Here we go. Remo asks, who are you? He goes, who we are the people who got you by the balls, Remo. Sorry.
Well, no, it's so good. And let's say, Dave, that according to the movie, how he was named or given his first official name was Mac grabs a bedpan, and below it says Remo, Arkansas, I believe, right, is on the bedpan. And so he just says Remo Williams. That's your new name.
You move like.
And then he goes,
go ahead.
He says a lot of thought went into that.
You move like a pregnant yak.
Yeah, that's good. That's Mr. Chun, Joel Grey, very heavily made up. And actually, that was nominated. The acting was nominated, and Joel Grey was actually nominated for a Golden Globe for this movie.
Dave,
yes,
fear can never kill you.
Yeah, I thought that's not right. I think fear can.
It can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think people have anxieties themselves to oblivion. But I know what the point he was trying to make. But in my mind, I heard that and said, no, it could.
Rely on what you know, not what you see.
Ooh, There's some wisdom in that.
Yeah.
You know, I believe.
So I call it a government vigilante committee.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, the government vigilante committee and a small unit, right? I mean, it appears there are 3 of them in the entire organization,
and they're connected to the president,
and they're somehow connected to the president, and nobody knows about it, and the whole. But Mr. Chun, he's kind of their outside consultant, I guess, or I don't know, but. Yeah, definitely not. You wouldn't cast Joel Grey or a Joel Grey type today.
No,
but Joel Grey is good in it.
Yeah,
and so is Fred Ward. But and I will say I like this movie. In watching it again, I see the cheese, and I also see probably why it didn't gain traction. This was at the time Fred Ward had not been a leading man. After this, he did a movie called Henry and June, which I think he was nominated for an Oscar. But one of the people that they looked at and eventually passed over was a young and up-and-coming New York actor named Bruce Willis.
I could see him in this one.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Like, oh, you know what? Bruce Willis might have been, as an unknown, who knows if that would have put him on the map. But that was, one of the things. One of the things that was out of this, Fred Ward did like 50% of the stunts that you see are actually Fred Ward.
Does that include the Ferris wheel?
That does. It actually does include the Ferris wheel. I'm sure there was parts of that weren't, but one of the things I will say, this has some pretty cool visual, cinematography when it comes to the Statue of Liberty at a very specific time, which was in the 80s when it was being basically they were, fixing it immensely. And there were lots of, I remember Lee Iacocca was asking people to give money to help fix Lady Liberty kind of thing. So as they used this, they got permission because of Dick Clark to shoot up there. What they did not have permission was they couldn't touch it. So the scenes where he is on the actual Statue of Liberty were shot in Mexico with a fake Statue of Liberty that was built for this. But there's a whole lot of this that has some pretty cool action scenes with the Statue of Liberty and all this scaffolding.
Some things that I did notice, William Hickey.
Yes, he was the guy at the carnival, right?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. What you looking at? Or what's the matter with you?
That voice. It's a classic voice, William Hickey. I noticed him. Also on that same, Reginald Vell Johnson early in this is the EMT that comes yelling after, I believe.
Tune like soap operas. I like that.
Yeah, no, this was, I'm trying to think of the other kind of important, they hired a former Bond director and they hired a Bond movie soundtrack person to create, so they were looking to create. In fact, obviously the name of the title, The Adventure Begins, they were counting their sequels and they had signed Fred Ward to do 3 when they signed him originally. So obviously that not all that turned out as it, it earned $3 million. Oh yeah. It was number 4 the first weekend.
Man. Yeah.
Wow.
It was, but I liked it. June said it would be better for you to eat this can than what is inside of it.
Yeah. No, he was a proponent of clean eating, a lot of rice. Right. And I mean, some of the things that are the hooks that he teaches him how to dodge bullets. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You have to look at how the guys or person's moving their fingers or looking or something like that.
Right. Listening and
I don't know. I don't know if I would, would trust that.
Right. I would say a gun can be a little further away and maybe hidden.
Yeah.
But in the course of this movie, it's very cool that he can dodge the gun people that he can see.
Okay, how much did the guy pay off the high-rise people to kill the guy?
Okay, that is perfect, Dave, because it didn't look like a
30.
lot.
I mean,
First of all, it was
to kill a guy. I mean, there's four guys are saying, yeah, we'll kill him. What do you got? 10, 20, 30, 40. I mean, and they just hand him the money right there. Okay, we'll go ahead and kill him. I mean, I didn't understand it.
Oh, Dave.
Hopefully it's more than $30. I mean, I hope those weren't singles.
It looked like crumpled up money. And in my head, like hundreds are wrapped very cleanly, right? This looked like 20s maybe, and it wasn't much. And then these guys were, first of all, they were joyful about it. And then the second was they were almost, for guys that didn't look like gymnasts, they were moving around the scaffolding on the Statue of Liberty like they were, Olympic level. And so, yeah, that was a cool little sequence that Remo got out of and took care of those guys.
Now, we did not know McCleary had a fake arm.
That was a big scene where he pulls off his arm first to short out a fence, and then he uses it with the dogs. Basically, gives his arm to the dogs.
Now, did Adam Sandler and company see that and use it in Happy Gilmore with Chubbs?
I think so.
I mean, I was not. Yeah. I was not thinking that. And then eventually they go off to Mount Promise. We'll move ahead here. And one thing in this movie, and this happens all the time, you got your bad guy.
Yes.
You got your bad guy, but he's the boss. And he's telling all his little minions what to do. But there always comes a time in the movie when the bad guy says, the guy goes, I'm not going to do it. And the guy, well, give me that gun. So the bad guy all of a sudden gets the gun. He takes matters into his own hands and he goes to it. And in this movie, Grove does that very thing. Eventually, he just grabs the bull by the horns and says, hey, if it is to be, it's up to me.
No, and this guy throughout the movie, they're building him up to be, no one can stop him kind of thing. And he's basically setting that up. And there's a great, as to set up the final scene, there's this great confrontation with Remo and the boss, Wilford Brimley. And he says, are we going to let him get away with it? And there's nothing we could do about it. And that's when Wilford Brimley says, I wrote it down. Hang on, Dave. You could stop him, son. Because he can do the perfect murder, Dave, because that's what Chun taught him with the ancient art of Sananju, is how to do that.
All the time I was thinking that Grove guy looks like the guy in Soap.
Yeah, absolutely. And that hair. You can't take your eyes off that hair.
Yes. Another great Chun line, and I'm just going to say it.
You're going to say it, Dave.
You drive like a monkey in heat.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, good stuff. No, it's got good lines.
He said, "You are very skinny." I mean, who goes up? Who says that to somebody? You are very skinny. Anyway. In my best Joel Gray there. And then they said they're an Alpha 1 alert. The security of the United States is at risk. Oh, yes, it is. But not in the way you're thinking. And Remo's going to take care of it, buddy.
Well, and we haven't mentioned Kate Mulgrew as the pseudo love interest / do-gooder among the Army.
She had it all figured out early and kind of met Remo along the way. Of course, Kate would go on to be in and I'm not familiar with the Star Trek, but she was on it for many years.
Yeah, she was a captain, I believe.
Janeway?
I thought it was Voyager was the one.
Her last name was like Janeway, I think.
Oh, yes. I think, Captain Janeway. That sounds correct.
Yeah, I mean, she probably had... Wilford Brimley, Hickey, definitely a sentimental favorite. But as far as work, steady work, she she probably had as good a career as any of the folks in this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Through Star Trek. And she was in a lot of, character actor in a lot of movies after that time. And I would say throughout the 90s, early 2000s. So definitely somebody you saw a lot of.
And another walk on water mystery with Chun. How did that happen?
How does he do it, Dave? And then later uses the walking water. Well, yeah, Chun does the walking water. And before that, Remo, wet cement walks, right? That's a big scene where he takes care of one of his suitors.
Yes. Let's see. And then that one, he said something and he goes, "That's because it's the shortest route to your brain." We'll let you figure that one out at home. But, I think Chun was kind of like a little reminiscent of Mr. Gardner from
absolutely, from Being There.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, there's a Yoda aspect. There's a Being There aspect. There's it's a lot of movies. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi to young Luke. Is that mentor. But the thing is, they give him attitude and they give him this kind of quirky personality where he loves soap operas and knows how to punch his finger through 2-inch thick plastic.
David, I thought it was a decent movie. Why is it untoasted?
Well, Dave, I think star power. Fred Ward, probably the timing of when this came out. I don't know. I mean, number 4, it wasn't that bad. I know that people went to movies a lot more in the 80s, but maybe they just could have picked a better weekend. I don't know. I know that even after this bombed and they weren't going to do the next movies, they still did a pilot with another Remo and another Chun for a potential TV series they were going to do. But that didn't get off the ground, as they say.
We love Remo Williams. It is untoasted. We've got 9 more big movies and an interview with Elam, Professor Elam, on the Elam ending. So it's all coming up on the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. Dave, until then, good tidings, my friend.
Love you, Dave. The phones are ringing off the hook.
Call before midnight tonight, and you'll get a set of steak knives, and you'll be able to listen to the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. And we are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892, and Central Indiana Rubber. Dave, we almost forgot segment 3 is coming up next.
The most exciting segment that people wait and wonder what's going to happen in. Yes, Dave, we can't forget that.
Crawfordsville Pete's Cast, segment 3 next. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you.
Alrighty.
Segment 3, Crawfordsville Pete's Cast, Untoasted. Dave, how about this saying everything is a psyop? Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what a psyop means.
I don't either, Dave. A psyop? No, this is a C. CYOP. Is that what we're talking, Dave?
PSYOP.
PSYOP. Wow, Dave. Is this these are acronyms that the kids are using?
Well, I don't know. I just came up. I saw it somewhere. And you do know that they have jalapeno cheese corn nuts.
That sounds like I got to try it.
We might have talked about those. I am addicted to popcorners. I don't know if you talked about popcorners. The kettle corn popcorners. Okay. Very good. I like that very much. So
okay, because I would like to try that because kettle corn is not, I think of kettle corn as sticking to my teeth.
Yeah, but these are little popcorners. They're great.
Okay.
Get them at a convenience store near you. Dave, safe travels. Up next, The Terminal with Tom Hanks, our interview with Professor Elam and the Elam ending. So it's all on the way on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Until next time, Dave, good tidings.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm working on the ending. The Crawfordsville Peachcast presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892, and Central Indiana Rubber. Power for you. 1, 2, 3, Dave. Hello.
Hello.
Tide. Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Tune in Thursday for a new episode on Apple or Spotify, and please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Peachcast. This podcast was produced and edited by Up There Media and is a presentation of Fork Broadcasting Digital. I'm Dave Peach, inviting you to join me next week.